Hello, Mighty Fortress partners. This is Pastor Starr with your Midweek Connection. Well, Friday is Valentine's Day. Maybe you've got a date lined up or you're taking your spouse out somewhere, looking forward to a wonderful night or day with them. Yesterday, I posted on our Facebook page a video from Your Time of Grace. Pastor David Scharf shared a devotion, and he talked about the word that is most important for married couples. And it wasn't love. No, the word is commitment, being committed to each other and what that means. If you have a chance, check it out. Great video on what it means to be married, to be committed to each other. I believe this whole week, the Your Time of Grace Ministries is doing videos on love and marriage and relationships with Valentine's Day at the end of the week. And so today I thought I'd highlight one of my favorite love stories from the Bible, the story of Ruth and Boaz. And really this story starts out kind of as a tragedy, really. Naomi is the mother-in-law of Ruth, and she goes with her husband to a place called Moab, outside of Israel, because Israel's in a famine and things aren't going well there. So they have to move their family, their two sons, to this place called Moab. It's a foreign country. It's really an enemy of Israel. But there they do find some favor, and both of the boys get married. But that's when the tragedy strikes. That's when Naomi's husband passes away, and then both of her sons die as well. So Naomi is left with Ruth and her other daughter-in-law, Orpah. And Naomi is going to go back to Israel. There's nothing left for her in Moab. She tells her daughter-in-laws to stay there. Perhaps they can find husbands from their own people there. But Ruth refuses. No, she's not going to leave her mother-in-law. She's become her family. And so Ruth goes with her. That's a wonderful picture of love and commitment right there. And so Naomi and Ruth, they come back to Israel. And they go to Bethlehem. That's where Naomi is from. Meet up with her family, her extended relatives, things like that, and try to get back into the swing of things there. Well, in Israel, a widow and her daughter-in-law, they didn't have a whole lot of prospects. They were pretty low on the social status on the totem pole there. So Ruth goes out and gleans in a field, a harvest field. So basically that means she walked behind the harvesters, and whatever they left behind, she would try to pick up herself and try to get enough flour to make bread, to make food, to have sustenance for her and Naomi to survive. But the Lord put her in the right place, in the right field, because it was the field of Boaz. And Boaz was a really good man. And Boaz was kind to Ruth, and he told his harvesters to leave out stalks for her, and she took home a wonderful amount of the wheat and the barley with her. And Naomi said, when she saw that, she said, "You got to keep going back to that field," and of course Ruth did. And over the course of events there, Ruth finds out that Boaz is what is called a kinsman redeemer, a relative redeemer. God had set up laws to look out for the underprivileged in society, and part of that was the kinsman redeemer. And Boaz was Naomi's and hers. So Boaz could marry Ruth and then take care of both her and Naomi that way. And that's what ends up happening. Boaz does fulfill his duty to do that. He is committed to Ruth, and Ruth is committed to him. They love each other, form a wonderful family. You know, this story is remarkable in a couple of ways. You think of the social status of Ruth and Naomi, way at the bottom, totally poor. Boaz is wealthy. He has fields. He could have ignored them, but he didn't. And in that, you kind of see a picture of Jesus and what he does for us, how he comes to this world. And even though we are so poor in spirit, Jesus gives us his righteousness, elevates us, makes us children of God. And then, of course, Boaz and Ruth, they have a son who has another son named Jesse, and Jesse has a son named David. And, of course, David is one of the ancestors of Jesus. And so the Savior actually ends up coming from the line of Boaz and of Ruth. Ruth is the great-grandmother of David. And so to see how the Lord has his hand in all of it, why this story gets added into the Bible. Well, this is part of the family line of the Savior. So just a beautiful love story in the Bible. It's not very long at all. If you want to read it yourself, I would definitely encourage you to do that. Might be a good Bible study to do with your spouse or significant other. So check out Ruth if you got some time this week, and do that as a devotional. We've got worship and Bible school, Bible study coming up on this Sunday from starting at 9:30 for Bible study, and then worship at 10:30. Hope to see you all there. Have a wonderful and blessed week in the Lord.